Welcome back to Mad Fridays with Abby, Megan, Dan, and Mike. That is so many names.
So before we start with TV shows and stuff, I'd like to apologize to Mike's professor because he's recording us right now, and the light is directly on me, and in the camera, I look like a ghost. So Demerge is going to be watching this later and be like, Mike, excuse me, you're failing because you have a ghost in your production, and I'm confused as to why. And I'm wearing a light color, so
obviously
sorry.
The radio station's just haunted, like everything else on this campus.
Ooh, spooky, spooky.
Gonna have to do some exorcisms.
Spooks.
The exorcism.
Speaking of exorcism.
Halloween is coming up, and I'm gonna lose it.
activity.
I'm so excited.
Speaking of exorcisms,
There is Supernatural. It's currently in season. Fall TV is back, and I'm loving it.
I'm so happy. Supernatural needs to end, but I'm so happy it's back for
What
now.
season are we on of Supernatural?
200? 12, I believe. I think we're at 12.
Okay, how's this season so far? The one episode.
Spoiler alert, everyone, for Supernatural. The mom came back to life. The mom has been dead for 33 years, and she's back.
God's mom or?
No, not God's mom. God and his sister left.
Okay.
But the Dean Winchester's mom, back. Don't know why. She needs to go back wherever she came from.
Okay.
But she's back to life now.
Okay.
Oh well.
Also speaking
okay.
of exorcism, The Exorcist is a brand new show on Fox. Has anyone seen it?
Is it really a show?
It's a show based on the movie. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
It's pretty great.
That sounds terrifying and so, like something I would not want to watch.
This last episode, a girl was on the subway, possessed by a demon, stood there, peed right on the subway in front of everyone.
What?
That is
Oh my gosh.
problem.
Welcome to New York.
But the thing is,
Wow.
like,
Holy cow.
What alarms me, like, as someone who is, like, now kind of getting used to the city, I feel like people be like, oh, darn, she peed. Like, don't do that.
I feel like that's a rational thing that people would
Silly
think on the
demon.
subway. It's like, "Ugh, man, this isn't gonna hinder my ride to work, is it? Like, we're not stopping. You better not stop this train.
Well, mop it up later. Like, I have a 10 o'clock meeting. Like, mop it up later. It's
It is
fine.
9:58, and I have to be at the office in 2 minutes across town. So you better not stop this train to clean it up.
I can't deal with this girl peeing.
They wouldn't be like, oh, that girl. They wouldn't even be like, that girl's possessed by a demon. They'd be like, oh, that girl just had too much to drink. Like, she'll be okay.
All right, so also another horror show, American Horror Story, is about halfway through its season already.
Is it really?
It's coming
I
up
forgot
on
that.
that.
Was 13.
Yeah, it's coming up on halfway. I think this season has been fantastic.
I've only watched a few episodes, and I hate the documentary style. But like you said, it gets better, so I'll wait for it.
Yeah, so you don't like the documentary style, no?
Wait for it.
Copyright. Continue.
So not a fan of the documentary style then.
Not yet, but I've only watched like 2 episodes. So
Lady Gaga is back. She plays this like person from the ancient Roanoke colony or whatever. Not that it's ancient.
It's not ancient. It's literally from like 16. No, just kidding. It's from like 1550 or 60 something, if I remember correctly.
16th century.
Ye old Gaga.
Ye old
Yes.
Gaga.
She has red hair. She hardly
Born anyway.
speaks.
No, straight up Roanoke is so interesting though. For those of you who don't know, Roanoke was the original colony like before Plymouth.
If you went to elementary school,
And
you know what Roanoke is.
Everything
not know what
disappeared.
Roanoke
was.
It is
Croatoa?
You don't like
fascinating. Croatoa, and it's fast. I don't know. I drove through it, and I went to the zoo there a few summers ago when I was going down. Yeah, there's a zoo there. They have no, they
Just a casual family vacation to the creepiest place on earth. Good.
no. We just drove through Roanoke. There's a giant star there too. They built a giant star that lights up at night, and you can see it from the road, and you get points for it.
Okay, I would just like to point out a giant star is lamer than the giant duck that Long Island has. So bye.
Which is not nearly as cool as a giant creepy beaver.
Dumb. Okay. Give me more shows. Tell us about Mike.
Well, I want to say one more thing about that because
Okay.
Kathy Bates plays the butcher.
Oh.
She basically throws cleavers into people.
I love it.
Me
Wow.
too.
And-
My day job.
Oh my gosh.
All I can think about is I would gladly be butchered by Kathy Bates.
I'm dead.
Did you mean Sweeney Todd?
Enough.
Sweeney Todd.
Copyright.
All right, that's enough of that. Supergirl season 2 is premiered
It was so good.
on the CW. It's new network, not CBS anymore.
Did you watch it?
I watched it.
What did you think?
I thought it was great.
Did you like what's his name? We discussed this yesterday. What is the
Tyler.
Superman's name?
Oh,
No.
Coachland?
Superman.
Superman. No, not Tyler Oakley. Superman.
Tyler Oakley.
No. The guy who plays Superman. What did you think of him?
Yeah, he was cool. He owned the role.
He
you know.
did.
Yeah, he did great.
See, and I really like Christopher Reeve as Superman, so like, I was kind of comparing it to him. But even then, he was still good.
Mhm.
I love Christopher.
It's sort of weird because they're cousins, but you could also see them as love interests.
Don't do that to me.
Doesn't she have a boyfriend? Doesn't
No,
Supergirl
no,
have
I
a girl
told
have
you
a
they
boyfriend?
broke up.
Does she have a girlfriend?
I wish.
I heard it was the most watched show on the CW
I saw that too.
in its time slot in 8 years. That's pretty amazing.
You know what else has been in that time slot? I
What?
think Supernatural.
Really?
I think so.
Oh
Course
I
no.
think it started in that.
Oh no.
When
Oh no,
did-
maybe not.
Not Supernatural.
Maybe not.
That's sad.
Yep.
Okay.
You're a dub.
Stranger Things. Dana, you have something
Oh
about
my
Stranger Things,
gosh,
right?
I love Stranger Things.
What do you know about
Oh,
Stranger Things?
Okay,
executive producer?
so if you haven't seen the first season, you need to watch the first season.
Oh my god, it is so good.
It
I would
is
suggest Stranger Things to
incredible.
anybody. Like it's super super creepy, but I hate horror movies, and this thing was amazing because it made you think, and also an awesome girl who little 11-year-old girl who like can move stuff with her mind.
It is incredible, but no spoiler alerts, I promise. Also, now the producers and writers have decided that they are making the season 2, but more importantly, they are actually taking the fans of season 1's opinions into consent on whether or not just all different types of things, like whether or not it's a fandom or what have you, or if you ship something.
I
they're
think
gonna
that's
put it
great.
in.
I
No
love
one
that.
should ship anything in that show because that's just creepy because they're 11.
I ship 11 and waffles.
They're like
11 and waffles.
Oh, the waffles. Okay.
They need to bring 11.
Waffle 11.
All right, we're not trying to spoil for anybody.
I'm
but
I'm
it's
about
so
to give
good.
it. I'm gonna give spoilers within like 2 seconds, so we're gonna
Spoiler
stop talking
alert,
about Stranger
spoiler-
Things.
Okay. All right.
Just everything
Just watch
about
it,
it
just
is
watch it.
amazing, and you will understand my frustration and my crying.
Okay. And as we get closer to Halloween, October 20th
Spookity.
is the television film remake of the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Megan's really
I'm so
excited.
happy.
Megan's excited.
I'm so happy. I loved the original. I loved the version they did for 2 seconds in The Perks Being a Wallflower. I love everything about Rocky Horror.
I feel like I love it, even though I've never seen it.
Honestly, like I have it. Like we're gonna have a movie night.
I would
Can
love
we?
to.
Oh
I'd
my
love
god, let's
to.
do this.
I will honestly here's the thing. I own it and I'm still willing to spend money on like Amazon for it. Like that's how
Or
much.
if you're like me and you're kind of just weirded out by a lot of creepy things.
It's not scary.
I know, I've seen it, but it just creeped me out. There were some awkward parts.
Yeah, it gets kind of like
If you don't like awkward, don't watch it.
Love
it's still really
awkward.
good. And
Not
the
the
original parts
No, I don't mean the show.
parts of the original cast are in it. Tim Curry, who played the original Dr. Frankenfurter, who's now played by Laverne Cox. He's in it. He plays the narrator. Victoria Justice isn't
Yeah,
it
I
for
was-
some reason.
Satan herself.
I love
What?
her.
What's wrong
Kate
with
Vic-
you?
She starred on this horrible show on MTV called Eye Candy. I watched it. It was terrible. Let me tell you that. Pretty Little Liars ripoff completely.
Okay.
Pretty Little Liars needs to end right now. I haven't watched the newest like seasons and everything.
Mike?
Like I saw up to like the end of the first half of the season before they did the flash forward, and I'm like, I do not need to go back and watch this. I am done. We're done. I'm gonna end up watching it anyways. But like that show needs to end.
You need to watch it.
Side note. I'd like to point out that Mike has his laptop here in the studio, and he in fact has a sticker that says hashtag PLL forever. Pretty Little Liars forever. Mike, care to explain yourself?
It's the best show in the world.
No, it's
People
not.
underestimate
That's a
it.
dude.
It's terrible.
He's a
There's a
dude.
listen. There is a podcast where two film major guys talk about the show for 2 straight hours, going into in-depth analysis about each episode. It's not surface. It's very deep. I'm telling you.
No one's dead. If you think somebody's dead, they're not. Except Ian. Ian's probably dead.
Okay, spoiler.
To go back to
It was the
Rocky
first
Horror-
season. They're in like season 6 now.
To go back to Rocky Horror real quick, it's directed by the guy who directed High School Musical.
Kenny Ortega.
Legitimately
Get your head in
directed.
the game, Kenny Ortega. Get your head in the game.
And it also has Laverne Cox, whom I
Love her.
adore.
She's amazing.
She's great.
She's gorgeous.
She's-
I wish I was. I don't know. Laverne Cox is amazing.
You're right. You're right.
All right, and last thing, HBO premiered this brand new show October 2nd. It's called Westworld. I highly recommend it. It's fantastic. Basically, there's this theme park where you can go and you can pretend you're in the Wild West. And
Megan and Dana, you're having way
like
too much fun
you
with this
completely
like,
immerse yourself
bed.
in the experience. But- let me talk about the amazingness of Westworld.
Megan and Dana are distracting.
Hey, just because we can dance doesn't mean you can't talk.
Okay, well, basically, all the character actors in this theme park world are robots.
We're a theme park.
And you find out over time that the robots are maybe a little more conscious than you'd think.
That's spooky.
It's scary and it's crazy. But I love it.
We're a mess.
Okay, and that's basically it for fall TV. So
All right. Well, to wrap up our show, we're going to come back in a few minutes after a song or two, and we're going to talk about politics, aka we're going to rant about the debate.
And I have tweets.
We have tweets.
So the tweets.
We have tweets, guys. It is going to be awesome. So
Let's
don't
slide
go
in those
anywhere.
DMs and come back with us.
We'll be back.
WICR presents This Moment in History.
Space Shuttle Challenger is just a few seconds away from blasting off from the Kennedy Space Center near Cape Canaveral, Florida.
Its 10th launch was planned for January 28, 1986. The Challenger launched at 11:38 a.m. Eastern Time that morning.